The psychology of breaking bad habits. Did you know that nearly 45% of our daily actions are dictated by habits? How many of those habits bring you closer to your goals? Perhaps more importantly, how many of those habits are slowly killing you, figuratively and literally? But how can we go about breaking our bad habits so that we can liberate ourselves from our relentless desire for instant gratification? A lot of the concepts covered in this video have taken inspiration from James Clear's Atomic Habits. Clear emphasizes that you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. To paint this more vividly, imagine someone comes home from their day job and their routine is to sit down and watch TV, scroll on social media for the rest of the evening, eat snacks, and generally be enslaved to small dopamine hits and instant gratification. Do you think that this person's routines and systems will help them rise to their greatest potential? Now contrast that with the more successful version of yourself that you envision. Would that person give in to bad habits that steal their time, energy, and potential? Probably not. If you imagine the greatest version of you in your head and picture that person would probably come home, exercise, eat healthily, and perhaps work on various passion projects and side hustles. The difference between good and bad habits lies in their long-term impact and the parts of our brain they appeal to. Bad habits often appeal to our more animalistic brain, providing fleeting but instant gratification. These habits, such as mindlessly scrolling through social media or indulging in unhealthy snacks, offer immediate pleasure, but over time can slowly destroy our health, happiness, and potential. In contrast, breaking bad habits involves consciously setting new routines that help us align with and realize our higher goals. This process may not offer the same immediate rewards, but it builds a foundation for lasting success and well-being. By choosing to break bad habits and replace them with good ones, we invest in a future where our best interests are prioritized, ultimately leading to a more enriched and purposeful life. To break these bad habits, it's essential to understand the habit loop, which consists of a cue, a routine, and a reward. For example, a bad habit loop might look like this. The cue is getting home from work and passing your snack cupboard filled with chocolates, biscuits, and so on. The routine is eating the snacks, and the reward is the dopamine rush. By recognizing and restructuring this loop, you can replace detrimental habits with behaviors that support your goals. This leads us to the first groundbreaking idea in James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, which is environment design. A lot of our cues are prompted by our immediate environment. Say you're trying to quit smoking. A packet of cigarettes in your pocket may be the cue to begin your unhealthy routine. We can design our environment in a certain way to remove the cues and the bad prompts. Remove the bad snacks from your house. Remove the cigarettes from your pocket. And now, you can no longer be prompted through the physical environment to begin your bad habitual routine. But removing cues from your environment isn't enough. Often, the cues to begin our bad habits can be internal ones. For example, when I was trying to unshackle myself from the social media algorithms, I found that in a moment of quietness, I would get an internal feeling of discomfort and want to reach for my phone to get a little dopamine hit. In this scenario, the cue was an internal prompt rather than an external prompt. This can be harder to tackle, although it is still possible to manage. This next technique is a form of mental self-regulation that I like to call thought interruption therapy. It involves becoming more aware of your internal thought life and emotional state. Whenever you find yourself experiencing an internal cue, a moment of discomfort, you need to consciously call it out and replace the negative thought with a new and positive one. In the context of breaking bad habits, this thought interruption process may look something like this. In my case of trying to quit social media addiction, I removed from my environment as best as I could the cues. So I went ahead and deleted the apps, but I still felt this internal cue to reach for my phone. I would reach for my phone and find myself flicking across my screen, even though the apps I was on a subconscious level looking for were not there. This enabled me to recognize my moments of discomfort and call them out to myself. And once I recognized I was experiencing such a moment, I would say something along the lines of this to myself: I am fine right now. I'm comfortable in myself, and I do not need to look to external sources for entertainment in this moment. So to summarize, 2 simple steps to break bad habits are as follows. First, remove the cues from your environment and eliminate the things that enable you to indulge in bad habits. Second, practice thought regulation or thought interruption. This involves recognizing your negative thoughts and replacing them with more positive ones.